Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go, let's go.
Figgy Feed, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rock, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go, in the jacuzzi, smoking threats, I got my feet up, cut them haters off, I told them beat it, I don't need you, spent 50 racks in cash, but it's all good, I got my visa, this rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa, my ghetto, Nike, I beat it like a creature, she always like my sneakers, these Jordan 5 pink aces, let's go, I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row, he really the one, but they already know, so none of my chains go put on the show,
giving up gins to my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need to back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80s. We really 10-toe down on the pave. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone if we still consider the Astros cheaters?
I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening. You sliding around playing Eminem in your car, you on your
Where the bitches at? It's supposed to be titties. Where the fucking titties and the bitches?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Jay Prince setting it off right. Another exciting edition of the Gems and Juice podcast on deck, y'all. We back at it. A lot to break down as usual, per usual. A lot in sports, entertainment, general fuckery. I don't know. If y'all gonna give us some hot takes about the fucking Rockets Summer League game that's going on right now, fucking save it, okay? I don't really give a shit personally. I'm tired. I know. See, NBA fans are just like, do y'all ever take a break? Do y'all ever take a break? Like, football has a nice break in it, where it's like you really anticipate the shit coming back. I feel like the finals just ended like last week. And now the draft done happened, and now we're doing summer league games and everybody giving these hot takes about how good a player is already.
Yeah, what it is, man, I think NBA people that cover it, they try to treat it like the NFL. They think it's like all year round where people care about this type of stuff, or you know, they want to go in depth into like I guess the pre-draft process and these players and all this other stuff. And truth be told, nobody care, man. It's not the NFL. Like, people that cover the NFL, the fans legitimately like they like the combine. They actually watch the combine. I don't, but they actually watch it. The draft, you know, everybody watch it. Training camp, that people get excited for training camp and all that stuff. Even OTAs, free agency, all that stuff. Like, the NFL is it can literally be all year round. And even the schedule release, that low-key been a big deal. But the NBA, man, like people be tired of the NBA during the damn season. So we definitely don't want to see no summer leagues. Like, I would take a peek at it, especially if I'm a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Outside of that, man, I'm not like wait to the season tip off, man. I don't care about that.
Yeah, you were telling me about before the show about a dude who was talking about Amen Thompson and how he's he's never seen anything like how he's playing right now in the summer league. It reminds me of wasn't there a ridiculous statement about that from with the Astros recently? Because I was listening to In the Loop, and somebody, I guess, was talking about Jose Altuve's batting practice. And I think it was Altuve. And didn't they say like this was the best batting practice I've ever seen?
Yeah, I said, yeah,
Who was that said that bullshit?
I forgot. I forgot who said that, but I think he was gearing up to come back or something. And they was like, oh yeah, he's back at batting practice, and that's the best batting practice I ever seen. I'm just like, come on, man. What are we doing?
I know people want a headline. I know people want the spicy, the retweets and the engagement, but we got to pump the brakes, man. Okay, I'm not making no judgments off of this Rockets draft based off of 4 summer league games or however many they play, man. I don't really give a shit. They playing against. This is basically a scrimmage game, dog. It's basically preseason we're talking about. Playing against people that might not make a roster, people that's going to be at the end of the bench potentially. So I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah,
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. It's cool to see some NBA action with the new picks, sure, but pump the brakes with the hot takes, man.
and the other thing is, I don't know if you ever watched a summer league game, but it is off. It's like watching the game at Lifetime, man.
Yep.
Everybody in for themselves. Everybody trying to overdo it because they trying to make the team. They trying to get a contract. So it is bad basketball, man.
It really is, man. But I've noticed recently, and I want to say like ever since Lonzo Ball, because Lonzo Ball, I think, has some of the most anticipated and viewed summer league games. I remember my friend, one of my closest friends from Austin, he actually went to like 2 Lonzo Ball summer games, man. Yeah. He was really hyped about it. And I'll make fun of him now because I'm like, whatever. Remember, I'll randomly remind him, like, remember you went to go see Lonzo Ball in the summer league? So yeah, man, I don't really give a shit. I understand NBA fans get excited over everything, but I personally don't care. I want to see what it looks like in a couple months when the season gets started. So
yeah,
we'll see. I guess we'll get the Rockets news out the way. I saw this little headline about how Ime Udoka didn't want James Harden. Are you buying that?
I am. I'm buying it. I think because remember he was Udoka was there in Brooklyn when James Harden was there at one point. So you see how it went down in Brooklyn with James Harden. So I could see him probably like, nah, we good. Like I'd rather work with what I got now than try to spend a whole boatload of money to bring him back there. So I could see that.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised he voiced that vocally since the owner said that he basically straight up said he wants James Harden back, you know. So I'm surprised that the coach even went that far as to imply that. But other Rockets news too, man. We close out the show with the surprise news that Fred VanVleet had joined the Rockets. Now we've got some other players joining as well. We have Dillon Brooks from the Grizzlies joining the team. You have any thoughts about that?
I just want to see a lot of fans that was shitting on them a little bit to see them change their tune. And look, I know they did it before because
Westbrook was the number one example.
Yes. So no, I know they did it before, but I think it's funny how people shit on other players and then that player ended up on their team. So I think that's funny. I was surprised at the contract because it seemed kind of pricey.
High, yes.
For a guy that can't shoot. So I don't know. I'm intrigued, man. I think everything they did this year is better than what they had on their team last year. So I can't beggars can't be choosers. So I'm gonna see how it go, but yeah, I'm interested to see this.
Yeah, I don't like it, man. Look, I'm not gonna act like I watched a lot of Grizzlies games, but the ones I did watch, the ones that mattered last year, this nigga played like ass, dog. And then like, why did we get this guy and why did we pay so much for him? I was confused. Now maybe it was the situation, maybe the lights were too bright over there with him talking all this shit and whatever, I don't know. But I was not impressed with his play in the playoffs against the Lakers, man. I mean, he was terrible. So I'm not excited about it, man. It kind of reminds me of the Brock Osweiler pick in a way when, like, last I saw when he was on the Broncos, he played like ass and then got replaced by a fucking Peyton Manning with a broken neck.
Yeah.
And,
That
and he,
man.
yeah, old damn more than half his body in retirement already.
Yeah.
And he had to come in for Brock Osweiler. And then Brock Osweiler came to Houston, and everybody was excited about it. And I was like one of the few ones that I saw that was like, wait, is this dude even good? And then he was beyond terrible, of course. But I kind of feel the same way about this, man. Of course, the stakes are way lower. He's not like the number 1 or number 2 option even. But I don't know, man. I just don't feel good about it. Maybe he's better defensively. I don't know. Maybe he's like a Pat Beverly spark off the bench. I don't know. But I wasn't happy hearing about it, man. I'm not a fan of this dude, really, in particular.
Yeah. I'm curious how well his role gonna be something on this thing because they paid him.
Yeah.
So it ain't like a little 1-year deal where they could get rid of him or something. He gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm curious to see who's gonna play now because they had a lot of young players. Everybody's making a big deal about them trading, I guess, like Ty Washington and somebody else.
Oh, he was one of those fan favorite players, man. But he never got any real minutes.
That's what I was curious. I'm like, man, y'all acting like we breaking up a championship team or something. Like, dog, like the team was so bad last year, and dude still couldn't even get on the court. So, like, I don't know. I ain't really get it, man. But I'm interested to see how Dillon Brooks gonna play here, man.
Yeah, me too, man. For sure, me too. We see some comments. We see y'all in the comments, man. We see Ernesto on YouTube saying, "Let's go." What's up, Ernesto? Also, Michael Garcia on Facebook says, "Yo, I'm a mail carrier in Pasadena, and this podcast makes every Saturday easier. Keep up the good work." Thank you, man. We really appreciate
that, man.
We really
shout out
do.
to the mail carriers, man. My sister a mail carrier.
A word?
Yeah, you know, a little fun fact about me. So before I even thought about getting in radio or going to broadcasting school, I was supposed to be a mail carrier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my sister's trying to get me in and be a mail carrier up in Cleveland. And all I had to do is pass the driving test and all that stuff, but for some reason I didn't pass it. And everybody who takes that test or, you know, apply to the post office, they pass it and everything be good. But for some reason I didn't. So I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. But long story short, I think I failed it because of my the points on my license.
Oh, okay.
So but if I would have got that job, I would probably still be there and probably wouldn't even looked into radio. Because they were starting off at like $19 an hour at that time.
Yeah, they pay pretty good, especially for like one of your first jobs you get.
Yeah. Yep. So it was gonna be like I was making like $8 an hour working at a group home. So going from that to $19 an hour, I probably wouldn't even be down here, and this podcast probably wouldn't even exist.
Yep.
So I guess you know it's part of God's plan because I still think about that to this day. Like, damn, like I can't believe I ain't getting in the post office. And when I moved down here, working part time here, I still try to apply to the post office, and I still didn't get in. So I'm like, man, maybe that's a sign. Because if I'm working at the post office, and Michael Garcia know about this, you working 6 days a week, sometimes 7.
Mm-hmm.
And since COVID, the hours been insane, man. My sister, she go to work at like 8 and get off at 9. So the hours been crazy. It been a shortage. So I don't know how it is down here, but man, I guess God work in mysterious ways because he would not let me work at the post office for some reason. And everybody, like, dog, it used to be crackheads getting jobs at post office, man. It's crazy, but
yeah,
Michael, man.
Yeah, salute to him. He says 6 days a week, sometimes 12 hours a day. Dog, I feel like, because I know when I worked at Best Buy, we had like UPS drivers, and dog, I swear half of them had to be like on cocaine, man. Like the way that the energy they had, for all the shit they were doing, especially that time of day. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, y'all on something. Y'all on some kind of, y'all got to be on some kind of pill. Because that's a lot. Those are long hours, especially in the summer in this heat. Man,
Yeah.
I feel for y'all. Some of them trucks didn't have AC. I don't know if they're better now, but I know
Yeah.
for a long time, a lot of those trucks did not have AC. So, yeah, it's rough, dog. HRW on Twitch, we see you. What's up, man? He's shouting out your Def Leppard shirt.
Yeah.
Now, are you actually a fan of Def Leppard, or are you faking the funk for the white folks?
I'm not taking the look. I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm a huge fan, but I like a couple of their songs. But that's not the band I go to, man. I'll go to a couple other bands before I get to Def Leppard. I ain't gonna lie.
Sidebar. You know, we always make fun of people who wear like Tupac shirts or Wu-Tang shirts, and they're like 18, 19-year-old white kids or something. And we're like, we know y'all don't know nothing about no motherfucking Tupac or Wu-Tang or NF Doom or whatever.
Yeah.
But dog, do you feel like people have a certain, because I've noticed, especially lately, a lot of black people have been wearing like classic rock t-shirts. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like not even like people that are in that culture, like rappers, hood dudes, everybody been wearing like classic rock shirts, like Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dog, do you feel like white folks feel the same way that we feel when we see somebody
100%. 100%.
especially older white folks who grew up with that music?
Yeah. What's
And-
funny is when somebody try to call me out from wearing this shirt. Oh, you don't know nothing about this, or you don't know nothing about Led Zeppelin. I'm like, actually, I do, man. Like one of my favorite rock songs is When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. And a little fun fact, back in the day, I actually rapped over that beat.
A word? Yeah, it's a classic, man. I feel like a lot of people like Led Zeppelin is like Metallica almost. I feel like everybody knows Led Zeppelin songs, man.
Yeah.
But there are some that are a little deeper, like Pink Floyd and things like that. I feel like some people wear shirts and they don't know nothing about the band, really.
Man, dog, this just happened to me a couple days ago, man. My sister-in-law was in town, and she had a Nirvana shirt on. And it caught my attention. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what you know about Nirvana? She's like, what, the shirt? She's like, I don't know anything about it.
That's crazy.
I'm like, really? And then I tried it, and you know, if you listen to the Breakfast Club, their intro is Nirvana.
Yeah.
Much. The Smell Like Teen Spirit. And a lot of people know that song, especially if you listen to the Breakfast Club. So I'm like, hey, have you listened to the Breakfast Club? She's like, no, I don't listen to radio. I'm like, damn. so
clout chasing like a mug, man. I see other people wear this shirt. That means I should wear it. I don't know nothing about the band. Don't ask me. Brown Chubby Bear on YouTube says Laramie Tunzel wears a Nirvana shirt all the time. Yeah, and to your point, I feel like everybody knows about Nirvana, man, especially if you're like our age. Like we grew up on Nirvana, man. They were one of the biggest rock band of the early 90s for us.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you like 22, 23, I mean, you probably still know about Nirvana. Their music still gets played in music and movies and shit. So you probably still know about them, but I wouldn't knock somebody for wearing a Nirvana shirt because I would know they probably are up on a band for the most part.
Yeah,
they only had 2 albums too, so it's not like they had a lot of deep cuts, or 3 actually.
Yeah. So the one thing I didn't know about Nirvana is, I guess I never thought about it, but I didn't know they were from Seattle. I had no idea they were from Seattle because we did like a little bracket on the show on Seattle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit, like I guess I never put Nirvana and Seattle together every time I listen to them. So
that's where their whole sound came from, like that whole grunge sound that came from Seattle.
Yeah.
And so they were definitely part of that movement. But there was a lot of bands that didn't get a whole lot of attention that were kind of fathered their whole style too. So
it's
kind of like what Biggie was to New York, but then there was like Rakim and LL, everybody who came before him that really set the the tone that he ran with. But everybody, when you think of a New York MC, you probably think of like Biggie Smalls first.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. HRW said streaming services are making these older bands more accessible. Yeah, I agree. And like me, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I know every artist in the world. Sometimes somebody will bring something up and say, "Hey, you got to check this person out. Like he had some good music back in the day," and I will check it out. So, yeah, that's how I started listening to Def Leppard a little bit. Like
Yeah.
a couple people told me about it, but I just never got to it. And when I got the shirt, I'm like, you know what? Let me just throw on the Def Leppard album. That's how I usually discover a lot of stuff I like. I just try their album and just go through it. Like I did that with Metallica. Metallica is a little too rough for me though. It's a little too hard for me. But like I kind of like more the Pink Floyds. I like a little Led Zeppelin. Some I like more 70s rock.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I feel like Metallica is like the Will Smith of rock music, man. Like I feel like everybody, like I wonder if rock fans really respect Metallica. I know a lot do, but I feel like for like serious rock fans, they think that their shit is really basic. And to be fair, like their music gets played everywhere, dog. Like everybody knows Enter Sandman, everybody knows a lot of their hits, but I feel like they're like the MC Hammer of the rock world, you know, basically like the more pop rock than what people are really into. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. But that brings up a good point too, because that reminds me of a debate that went on recently. We didn't talk about it really on a podcast, but Tyler the Creator was on a podcast and somebody asked him like who his top 5 was, and then he kind of went on a rant about how he doesn't care about anybody's top 5. And people always say the same shit, the same rappers. And he brought up the fact that, you know, he was talking to some like really young dude, and he said that his favorite rapper was like Tupac and Biggie and all that shit. And he was like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. You're just saying that to look smart. You know, tell me why like Lil Baby or NBA Youngboy or whoever is your favorite rapper. Don't tell me that, you know, just to sound like a serious rap fan, you got to act like you was a fan of Tupac. But that brought up a whole big debate of like whether you can be a fan of older artists and be younger, or I don't know. It was a whole lot going on there, but that kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. No, look, man, I think it's fair to be a fan of older music like that, because if you bring up R&B, I'm gonna bring up. Look, I don't care. I wasn't around during that time, but I'm gonna bring up Marvin Gaye. I think, like, I still listen to Marvin Gaye, man. I still listen. Like, I love Al Green. Al Green is my go-to. But yeah, I think it's fair for kids to bring up like a Tupac or a Biggie and stuff like that. But I do think people be fronting a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think some people be fronting, and sometimes I have to catch myself too, because some people say, "Oh, what's your favorite artist of all time?" And I do go to Tupac, Biggie. But whenever I tell people like my favorite artist, I love listening to, they kind of side eye me a little bit. But I'm like, I'm not telling you this the best artist of all time. I'm telling you my favorite. Like some of my favorite artists I love was like Jadakiss. I love listening to Jim Jones back then. Like I don't listen to him as much now, but I had like random artists where I have to go listen to them, and I love their style, even though they might not be the best rapper.
Yeah, and I think like, and that's why I get tired, and I try to ask too much. Like sometimes I just want to get the vibe of if we have a guest on, like what artist they like. But I don't even like that question anymore, because to his point, everybody does say the same shit, and I get caught up in it too.
Yeah, I like Drake, I like Kendrick.
Yeah, I like Future, I like J. Cole, all the same rappers,
DC,
man. But also I feel like asking me who I think the top 5 greatest rappers of all time and asking me who are my favorite top 5 rappers are 2 different questions, man.
Totally 2 different questions.
Because I feel like my top 5 would not be in anybody's top greatest of all time top 5 for the most part.
Yeah, I
Like I'm
agree.
putting people like Doom up there. I'm putting people like, like a Scarface maybe, or you like a Pimp C, UGK type shit, or something like that. But I feel like those are two different questions, asking who's your favorite rappers and who is a top 5 of all. Like Jay-Z might not be in my top 5 favorite. Actually, he would be, but he'd be
Yeah.
lower. But I do think he's the greatest of all time in
Yeah.
general when making that ranking. So,
Yeah, like I would have Ghostface Killer in mine.
yep.
And people, like I said, that's when people be like, wait, like what? But it's my list, it's my favorite.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying he's the 5 best of all time, but that's my favorite. That's my go-to. Like I think about some of the people I listen to that made me want to rap.
Yep.
'Cause you listen to some artists and you be like, dang, like I wish I could rap like this.
Yep.
He was one of them where I'm like, damn, I wish I had that voice. I wish I could rap like him or had that image.
Yeah, for sure, man. Brown Chubby Bear says, I get shit all the time when I say the best rapper of all time is Biggie. I mean, I don't see why. I mean, that's I feel maybe because you're in the South, you get that type of reaction, because I feel like, especially in Houston, a lot of people don't rank Biggie that high. I mean, when it came to like the East Coast, West Coast, I feel like most of the South sided with Tupac, for the most part.
And plus with Scarface doing music with Tupac too.
Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, I wouldn't. I think depending on where you are, you would either get praised for that opinion or get kind of knocked for it.
Yeah,
but
I kind of don't be either, man, because I feel like it should be a statute of limitation of Biggie and Tupac to me, man, because to me, I feel like them two is hogging up the conversation.
Yeah,
it's just like, all right, like it's always gonna be Biggie, Tupac. Like I don't even care if you got them 1 or 2. I want to see who else y'all got. That's where I'm at that point. Like, all right, Biggie, Tupac, we should exclude them in a whole nother realm. Like, all right, that's 1 and 2, whichever, however you feel in that day is one of them or 1 or 2. I want to hear somebody else.
Yeah, and that's why you almost want to ask like who's your favorite, who's your top 5 living rappers, so we can just exclude the dead period, and move past the Tupac and Biggie. But at the same time, man, I can't knock anybody who has Tupac and Biggie that high either.
Yeah,
because they've really made music that is like stood the test of time, dog. Like, I don't feel corny listening to Tupac or Biggie in 2023. Some rappers I feel mad, like you can't go back to a lot of Nelly records, man.
Yeah.
And Nelly had like a 5-year run where he was killing shit.
Yeah, this dude was going diamond.
Yeah. And you can't go back to a lot of those records, man. Like, and I just use him an example. There's a lot of rappers you just can't go back to and not feel corny listening to. But I feel like Tupac and Biggie in general, you don't feel corny listening to music in 2023.
Yeah.
So,
no, I agree.
Yeah. Long sidebar, but just that was just something I was thinking about, man. Some discussions that were happening on hip hop Twitter as of late. So anyway, moving on. The topics and anything released this week. I didn't see any releases that caught my eye.
I ain't see anything that caught my eye either, but something that did catch my eye. So the release, it was a couple releases that happened last week that we discussed. We discussed Lil Uzi's album. Was it Pink Album? The Pink Album?
Yeah.
So he's number 1 when it comes to sales, or I guess he might be number 1 on the chart. I want to say on the US chart. So he sold 165K first week. So that's actually a little more than I expected. I didn't think he was gonna sell that much, but he did. But the one a lot of people was talking about was Coi Leray. Is it Coi Leray? I think Coi Leray.
Yeah.
They was clowning her a little bit because she's I want to say she sold 10K her first week.
I mean,
like, should we be bringing this up at this point, man? Like, I feel like a lot outside of the obvious, a lot of people doing low numbers, man.
Yeah, and she don't really have a hit. I mean, she's been trying. She's been trying real hard to catch a hit. She's been sampling a bunch of old records using the old formula. And this goes to my point, man. I'm telling you, like, you can't make somebody feel you. You know, that it has, no matter how hard a label pushes you, like there has to be something organic behind it. There has to be something that fans feel like they're not being forced to like or listen to something. You
Yeah.
know, it has to be organic. Some people got to listen to a song and say, this catchy as fuck. I'm going to check out who did this. And it's not because I mean, you see her everywhere. She does a lot of shows. She's at a lot of festivals, and what do you see her a lot?
Yeah.
But as far as her music, is not ringing like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, and I saw somebody online bring up a point that we actually brought up a minute ago about so this person was pretty much defending Coy Leray
Yeah,
on the sales. She was pretty much saying, why do sales even matter at this point? She got other stuff going on too, so, and we brought that up before, like with Lil Nas X, I want to say how he didn't really sell as much as we thought, but he was on freaking Uber commercials and all Uber Eats commercials and all of this other stuff. So I asked the question, like, damn, do it even matter with the sales at this point? If he's getting all these endorsements and commercials and all of this other stuff. And then I want to say I asked the other question of like, do we need to adjust the I guess the bar when it comes to sales? Because a lot of, I mean, people ain't going platinum like that now. Like, we gotta call it how it is. People ain't just up and going platinum. So do we gotta lower the bar a little bit? Or I'm wondering if the streams have anything to do with it too. But I don't know. Like people was clowning her. I guess I just didn't care, man. Like a lot of people are doing low numbers. And so that didn't surprise me at all. So I don't know, man.
yeah, and yeah, I think that's the new game. I don't think a lot of people, a lot of artists are care about album sales anymore, man. I think it's more about exposure. You know, we talk about Cardi B all the time, man. Cardi B ain't dropped an album since her first one 5 years ago now. You know, she has hits. She could have dropped one at any point from 2018 to now, and
Yeah.
she hasn't. And people are wondering if she even is going to, or if she needs to. You know, she's already got her own TV show. She's already everywhere. Everybody knows her. And why not just release some hot singles every now and then
Yeah.
just keep doing her thing?
I'm wondering if see, I don't know. It seemed like, do you feel like it's a little different with female rappers? Because it seemed like the guys that drop with no problem.
Yeah.
You don't see too many guys struggling with numbers like that. You got a few, but a lot of the times they putting up numbers. But I wonder if females will get to a point where they just drop singles and never drop a project. Because I'm kind of curious looking at somebody like an Ice Spice, because I feel like her, whatever she drops is going to be super anticipated. And I don't even know if it's going to live up to the point. I don't think it's going to live up to, you know, what she is right now. So I was thinking if I was her, I probably wouldn't even drop an album. I'd just keep hopping on features. Like if I'm getting the love I'm getting now and getting all the sponsors and all the, you know, all this other money, I will probably just keep dropping singles and keep appearing on features at this point, because I feel like it's a setup at this point to drop an album if I'm a female and I'm gonna do 15K the first week. So why would I do that? And I could just drop singles and just keep teasing people like Cardi B and City Girls and stuff like that.
Yeah, might as well. And another thing I just thought of too, I don't think women consume music the same way like men do. You know, I feel like women, for the most part, will not listen to a whole album unless it's somebody they're a stan of. You know, unless it's a Beyonce fan, they're not going to listen to a whole Beyonce album. unless they a Megan Thee Stallion fan, then goes into a whole Megan Thee Stallion album. They gonna pick and choose whatever songs they like that they heard somewhere else and add it to a playlist. And I feel like as men, even if we're not like fans of somebody, if a big artist drop, we'll run the album through at least once.
Yeah.
Like I don't think everybody's a Drake fan, but they're gonna run through that album at least once and pick out what they like. But I feel like as far as women go, I don't think they say, "Oh, Coi Leray dropped. Let me listen to the whole album." They're gonna be out and about. They're gonna hear one song they like. They're gonna look up that song and add it to like a party playlist or whatever playlist.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Coi Leray, she got that one song that's what players do, where she sampled the who was it, Grandmaster Flash or whatever, or the Diddy or the Puff Daddy song. It like it's a popular song on TikTok. If you scrolling on TikTok, you're gonna hear that song. So the song is getting pushed. The song is out there. So I would rather just release that song and not even release an album, man. Just kind of just ride the wave of that song. And not get the criticism of selling only 10,000 records the first week. So I'm wondering if that should be the strategy going forward with female artists. Because I hate how people just clown these artists like that, like especially the women. I ain't trying to sit here and take up for the women because those same women be clowning dudes too. But like what do you get out of clowning Coi Leray, man? Like she don't be talking shit to nobody. It's one thing if it was like Nicki Minaj, who used to always talk down on people and all that shit, and then she sell 10K. Then you be like, ha, see, remember all that shit you was talking? But what's the purpose of shitting on Coi Leray or what's the girl, Holly Bailey or Chloe Bailey? Like, what's the purpose of shitting on them for selling that?
Yeah, that's just Stan Twitter, man. I don't think the average person gives a shit about how many records somebody sells. That's just like Twitter Stan culture. You always got the Stan fan bases, the Stan bases going to battle over each other. Like if you ever look at that Twitter account chart data, if you ever look in the replies to that shit, it's nothing but like Nicki Minaj fans, Ariana Grande fans, and Taylor Swift fans like going at each other's necks and making fun of people for not selling as much.
Yeah.
So I don't think regular people really give a shit, man. Brown Chubby Bear on YouTube says, I feel like it's more age-based than gender-based that don't play full albums, but I'm also over 40. So, and yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know if like 18-year-old boys really listen to a whole album that whoever puts out, but I could be wrong, but I feel like men in general, the fact that we have music that we call Scare the Hoes and usually is something that's like just not something you can dance to.
Yeah, Pusha
we
T.
say, we call Pusha T Scare the Hoes music. And so like that alone proves to you like there is a gender-based difference in how we consume music, man.
Yeah. And the funny thing is too, I feel like if you don't look at the numbers and all that stuff, you would think females got the game on lock. You'll think females music, because I'm a big fan of female artists. Like I enjoy listening to female rappers. You would think they got the game on lock. But when them albums come out, man, like look at Gunna. Gunna sold how many albums with no features, snitch allegations,
no promo.
Yeah. And you see how all the numbers he did. Look at Gunna. I mean, not Gunna, but Young Thug. This dude is in jail and released the album, and now it had Drake and all these different big names on there, but this dude did almost 100K in jail. So like it's out there. But for some reason, when it comes to Sweetie and Coi Leray and Chloe Bailey, like all we got is 10K, 15K.
Mm-hmm.
So people out there getting it, but for some reason, when it comes to female and albums, they just not really buying into it.
Yeah, because it's just they got a hot single and that's it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they have the fan base that's really going to support them. Like that, who's that girl who sang Pound Town? That song is fucking
Yeah.
everywhere. But dog, you know she ain't gonna. She like Craig Mack. You ain't gonna be around. You ain't gonna be around next year. So like, I feel like they get a hot song, and then people say, "Oh, she run the game now," but you got to have more than that to have any longevity in this game, man. And I don't know if they have it. I think people luck up and get a hot single. Like whatever happened to old girl who had Dej Loaf. Remember her?
Yeah.
She was supposed to have next, man. She had a hot single, and she's still around making music.
She's still making music.
But it's just it doesn't make any noise anywhere, man.
Yeah.
So I think isn't that Rick Ross artist too?
I
I thought it was.
don't know if it was Rick Ross
But,
artist. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
man.
But
So,
she's still around. She's still like I still come across some of her songs, and she be on
Yep.
features with other artists and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I think females need to take the avenue of just making singles and just try to get a TV show like Carisha or something.
I mean, I think that's their goal anyway, man. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot because when they looked, I think there was a big leak. I think it was Sweetie's Music or somebody leaked like 70 songs or some shit, and a lot of them were other people's songs that were having reference tracks done. So
Yeah.
it's not like they're writing their own rhymes and making this music. I don't think they really into it. I think they just want to pop and then do other shit too, for the
Yeah.
most part. Like there are some people, Megan Thee Stallion and people like that are really into the rap and want to be great rappers. I think
Mhm.
for the most part, they saw what Cardi B did and they say, I want that. You
Yeah.
know? So
And I'm wondering too, and I don't want to get too far off base, but I'm wondering if that's how hip hop is now, period.
yeah, kind of.
Because when like looking at let's say I would like to say the last big group of superstars that came. So like the Drakes, the Kendricks, the Coles, that kind of group. I feel like that was probably like the last big superstar group we had that was really passionate. That's kind of still around.
Yeah.
I feel like they were really into it. They wanted to be the best. They wrote music. They wrote their own music. They tried to be the best. Now, is it anybody out here that's new that's trying to be the best, or are they just trying to make money? I feel like I don't know a new artist that's here trying to take the throne. Because it's kind of a shame that Drake and Kendrick is still up here.
Yeah.
That's the best. Because
and it feels like everybody just accepts they're the best too.
Yes, like nobody is trying to take their throne. And it seems like they don't even want the damn throne at this point. It look like they trying to be on their Jay-Z shit and just kind of retire a little bit. But Kendrick ain't drop an album in how long before this recent album? And he's still the boogeyman in hip hop. Like ain't nobody overthrown him. So I wonder, just rap period, do they even want it? Do they want to be the best, or they just out here just trying to get a bag? Because I don't really get that type of energy from like a little baby. It seems like he's just making music and staying out the way, trying to get money. And I see that with everybody else.
Yeah, no, we're definitely in get the bag culture, man. Like we talked about this on a podcast before, how being called a sellout ain't even a thing no more.
Yeah.
Selling out used to be a big thing in rap, man. You used to not be able to do no fucking McDonald's commercials or do a song that was too pop or do anything that got played on top 40 radio. If you did that, you was a sellout.
It's
and
called
now that's
where a sellout.
Yes. And now that's everybody's main goal in rap is to sell out.
To go pop.
Yes.
Like, you know how many times they say, oh, the baby, he got a song with Dua Lipa. Like, see, he's out of here. Yeah. I mean,
they get happy about it.
Yeah, and I'm not even hating on it. You know what I mean? But that's like the goal. So it seems like they're not trying to be the best. They're not trying to. It seemed like, first of all, it seemed like everybody cool with each other. It's kind of like how the NBA is.
Yeah.
It's like everybody in the NBA friends and cool, so they just trying to play. They trying to play together, link up together, and that's it. They're not trying to be the best, or they not try to, surpass somebody. So I don't know. Maybe that's why hip hop suck a little bit right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of copycats too. We talked about that before. People blatantly jacking other people's styles and just nobody cares anymore. So it's a lot of swagger jacking, it's a lot of biting, it's a lot of shit that we didn't allow back in the day that is now just commonplace and we cheer for it. So different day and age, man. The kids got to deal with it. We out the game now. We damn near retired at this point.
Yeah.
We see Tab in the comments, man. It has been a long time since we've seen you.
man.
I hope you good, man. I hope you good. And HRW on Twitch also said Nelly just sold some of his catalog. Yeah, I saw that too. I think he sold his for
Half
like $50
$50
million.
Yeah.
So that's a common thing in music, period, man. That's
Yeah,
everybody's selling their catalog.
Yeah, I would like to keep an eye on that too, because it's happening a lot where people just selling their catalog for 250 mil, which is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always weird seeing fans and stuff saying, "Oh, why are you selling for that?" Like, that's $250 million, man. Like, I know Lil Wayne. I think that's how much Lil Wayne sold his catalog for. But $250 million, that's $250 million, man, for your music. So, like, I don't know what the future gonna hold when it comes to music. Shit, the music might not even be worth that much in some years.
It won't be. That's why they're selling it. Like, I've read some articles about this, and basically what was happening is people's catalogs are being overvalued right now. And so people are selling high because ultimately with streaming how it is and how music rights happen and sampling clearances and all this shit, music is not going to be worth nearly as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
And so the money they're taking now is more than they will make in the future in their lifetime, most likely, owning and sitting on it. I know Jay-Z made it sound sexy to own your masters, but it's really not worth it when you see what they're being valued for. I think he sold his music too, didn't he? I thought he did, or he might have.
I don't think so. I don't remember. But I know people was talking about Lil Wayne, like, oh, only 250 million. Like, oh, I thought it would have been worth more than that. And it's like, how?
Like, okay, no, he didn't sell his. I think he sold it on.
Okay,
but
he don't need to sell it either. I mean, I think he good where he at. So he can afford that risk.
Tab says, question: what are these companies doing with the ownership of these masters? Good question. I mean, I would assume they're using it in a lot of media. I've also heard the point that, whenever you hear a lot of old music get sampled now, and if like one company owns all the masters, you only have to play that one company, and if that company is the parent company of your artist, they can just clear that shit for free or whatever. So I think there's a lot involved, and I want to do some more research on it, but I don't know what they're doing with the music, man. I think it's a risky investment to overpay for something, but you would assume they're getting more out of it than they're spending somehow. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. I want to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I wonder if they figuring out how they can repurpose that music at some point. So maybe 10, 15 years from now, maybe they'd try to re-release the Carter 2 or something like that and make money off of it or use the name or something like that. So maybe I'm almost certain that they will probably do something like that because they got to get some type of profit from it. I don't think they just gonna spend 250 mil just for it to sit. So I'm sure they probably gonna do something like that, I guess.
I don't know, man. We'll probably hear a lot of Lil Wayne samples and some random music from now on. Shit, I don't know. But so yeah, very, very interesting stuff going on in the music industry, man. Very something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Let's get some topics, man. Let's get into a lot of the stuff that happened this week, and a lot went on. I guess we could start with the apparent death, the 15th death of Twitter now. So Twitter, Elon Musk made some changes at Twitter over this past weekend. I believe he started to limit the number of posts people could see. I think it was like 600 if you weren't verified, if you weren't subscribed to Twitter Blue. And that's not how many tweets you can put out. That's how many you can read.
Look at, yeah.
And that's like one bathroom session if you fucking scrolling that shit.
Yes.
So
my shit was limited that morning. I remember I had to get my hair done like 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was under the dryer. I want to say it had to be about 8 o'clock. And that shit kept popping up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was my phone. And that shit kept happening, man. So
yeah. And to be fair, I believe he has increased the limit now, but there's still a limit apparently. And the limit is bigger if you subscribe to Twitter Blue. So people got upset with this, man. They're like, this app is just ass now. We got to pay just to read shit now. So a lot of people started another exodus away from Twitter. And lo and behold, there was like 3 different new Twitters to come out. Now we already have Blue Sky we talked about on the podcast before that I still have not got an invite to. I sent that fucking I've been on that wait list for like 3 months, man.
Hey, I'll do you a favor, man. I hook you up.
How'd you get the Blue Sky? How'd you get the Blue Sky?
So somebody hooked me up with it. So I got to give a shout out to Texans Cap.
Okay.
Texans Cap on Twitter. And sometimes we be DMing each other talking about like random nerdy techie stuff. And I had told him I forgot what I was talking about. But I'm like, man, I wish I could get on Blue Sky or something like that. And he tweeted me back and saying, "Oh, I got an account, but I don't be on it like that." So I DM'd him like, "Man, send me an invite." Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you don't be on there. I've been trying to get on there for a minute. And so he sent me an invite. So I've been on there. I ain't been on there that much, but I got you. I'll send you an invite. I don't know if you're still trying to get on there.
I'll just check it out, man. I don't think I'm gonna post it. I think I'm retiring from the social media shit in general.
It's getting too much, man.
It's getting annoying, dog. But there was Blue Sky already, and now there's Spill. I guess there's Spill, which is like the black Twitter. I guess I know it's had people behind it who are like the D-Ray from the Black Lives Matter thing, and other influencers are behind that. That kind of feels like the new Clubhouse.
So apparently the guys that created Spill used to work at Twitter. They were employees at Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And so they both came together and created Spill. So it's like a black owned social media. And it looked pretty different from Twitter. It's a little more visual. I would say it's not just straight up words. So it's like a lot of pictures and stuff like that, but it's kind of similar to Twitter.
Yeah, man, I saw the interface and I don't want no parts of that app, man. I'm sorry. That shit just sound too corny. I saw like the followers and following is like spilling and sipping.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like that shit just looks too corny, man. I don't want nothing to do with that. If you get in that, let me know how it is, man.
Yeah, I'm actually on it. I'm pretty much on everything, to be honest.
Okay. So well, first off, let me finish the introduction of the new social media sites. And since you on them, I want you to rate them. Okay. Right. So, and last but not least, Instagram, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg launched his replacement Twitter called Threads. I think it was supposed to launch like later this month, but he pushed it way up. I guess he was trying to capitalize on everybody wanting to leave Twitter right now.
That was very smart.
Yeah, and he launched it like I want to say it was Wednesday night. So he launched it early. people have been on that. It already links you. If you have an Instagram account, you just use that account, and it's the same company, so everything is linked together. And that one I'm wary of, man. I just don't like the Instagram shit is just shady to me, man. I feel like they just want they be looking too hard into your phone and shit.
Yeah.
And the privacy shit makes me uncomfortable. I feel like they want access to everything on your phone, and I don't really like that. But between Blue Sky, Spill, and Threads, Figgy, I want you to rank these social media sites and tell me which one, or if all of them can replace Twitter.
I would say the number one social media app that could replace Twitter is Threads by far, because Threads, first of all, Meta, they are pretty much like Apple. They're pretty much like Apple. They see something, they don't jump right. They never jump and try to be the first to do this or the first to do that. But they kind of sit back, they lurk a little bit, and then they come out with the same feature and make it better. So they did that with Snapchat. They pretty much took from Snapchat. They took from Vine. They took from TikTok. So I think number one is Threads, man. It looks good. I'm on there now, and it was super easy too, because and I'll tell you about the other social media apps whenever we get a chance. But the good thing about Threads is you pretty much get your same follower. It's easy to build it up. You don't have to do a lot of work. And so a lot of the people on my Threads now are my Instagram friends. And a lot of my Instagram friends was not my Twitter friends. So it's a totally different timeline, unless you follow me on Twitter and you come across my stuff on there. But yeah, to me, I feel like Threads will eventually take over for Twitter, because this was the other key thing too. A lot of big time companies are hopping on Threads. So you see a lot of companies like Nike. You see, I seen McDonald's on there. I see a lot of reporters like Woj, Adam Schefter, just different random reporters using Threads. A lot of celebrities using Threads. So I'm not sure if Mark got the I don't know if he just sent the mass email out to his celebrity friends to jump on there.
They got paid.
Yeah,
they got paid.
Yeah, so I don't know if he just got that look or got that hookup, but that's the one thing the other sites do not have, unfortunately. So I think Threads is number one for sure by far. Second, I would say I think the app Spill have a lot of potential, or had a lot of potential. I don't know if people gonna be on there heavy now, and I don't know how long it'll last. But it's not exactly like Twitter. But to me, it seemed like Spill is way more visual. It seemed like it's a lot more meme based, where on Twitter where people use GIFs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like you'll get the best out of Spill by using GIFs. You can pretty much post a GIF and write your caption over it. So you'll get a lot more laughs on Spill. It's not really serious like Twitter, because Twitter have its funny moments, but it also have like the journalists on there that's being too serious, and you got the super serious people that's trying to cancel other people, all that stuff. Spill isn't really like that. It seems like it's just strictly jokes, strictly having fun. So I would say number two. I would say that's number two. But I don't know how long it's gonna last, because I hate to say it like this, but you got two black dudes who own it. I don't know if it could, stand a chance against Meta or even Twitter, to be honest, because those are way bigger companies. And last, and the only reason I got them last is it seemed like it's not a lot of people on here, but Blue Sky. It's like I've been on Blue Sky for a little bit now, probably like less than a month, I would say. But it's hard because there's nobody really on there like that. And the people that are on there is not really of my interest. And I think at the time, I don't know how it is now, but at the time, Blue Sky was just invite only. And it's tough it's tough when it's only invite only and all of your friends or people you may know is not on there. So I'm interacting with people I don't even know. So it's super nerdy. I think it's cool. I think it's clean. It's a lot of stuff you really can't do yet. You can't post a video or anything like that.
Damn.
You can post a picture, but it's kind of like old Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not really a lot of people on there. So it's a little bit of a snooze fest. But I think these type of companies drop the ball when it comes to invite only. And I understand you kind of test it out a little bit, but having an invite only for months and months and months, to me, I feel like that kind of killed the energy a little bit. Because by that time, people move on real quick. And, just like Clubhouse, I feel like Clubhouse had a lot of momentum where people was trying to buy, they were trying to buy invites and all that stuff. They were getting scammed, and people was just like, man, I gotta get on Clubhouse. I gotta get on here. And it eventually died out because they held on to that invite only for so long. And by the time they opened it up, I was done with it. Like, a lot of people was finished with it. We went back to our normal social media accounts, which was Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So, yeah, I think Blue Sky has some potential, but it's way too much like Twitter. I would say that too. It's kind of like a 2009 version of Twitter, where it's just kind of bland and ain't nothing really special about it. But Spill, it looked different. Spill, it was more of a GIF. You could tell it had a certain vibe to it. Just Blue Sky is just kind of bland. Like, I haven't seen a joke on Blue Sky at all since I've been on here. It's just kind of dry a little bit. So I don't know if it's just the audience or what, but I haven't really found a lot of people on here that I can follow and engage with.
Yeah, and Blue Sky was made by Jack, who was the previous CEO of Twitter. So it kind of makes sense that it's a older Twitter, because what Twitter used to be is what he used to be over. And I think they're also like he basically came out straight up and said he wasn't trying to replace Twitter. I think he was just more so trying to provide an alternative. And I think he was also waiting to work a lot of kinks out, because when it first launched, I heard it was really rough. Like, there was no filters. People were posting crazy shit, and they had to work out a whole lot. It was kind of like they didn't know what social media was going to be like when they opened the gate. So they had to start putting filters in and making changes. So I think it's going to take them a while longer to get to, I guess, where they're comfortable to just open the gates to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, and even Blue Sky. So when Twitter was shutting down or limiting people on there over the weekend, Blue Sky crashed.
Yeah,
like I tried to hop on there. I guess a lot of people was trying to hop on at the same time, and it was overcrowded. So they still got some other stuff to work on too. But I just think they kind of killed the momentum a little bit, just keeping the invite for so long. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but after a while, man, I think you kind of got to read the room a little bit, because I think it would have been perfect to just let the gates open this past weekend when Twitter was having this meltdown. So and I think Mark Zuckerberg was smart by doing that. And my other question is with Mark, I wonder how long was this new social media thing for Meta was in the works? Did they start working on this once Elon purchased Twitter, or was it before? I'm I'm very curious to kind of see if they just if they see how bad Twitter was turning, so they feel like they can take them out, or was this always in the works the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We don't. I mean, unless Mark came out and said it, I don't think we'll know.
Yeah, he'll
I
probably
would.
never say it, but
Yeah, I doubt they started working on it last week. I'm sure they have been working on it for a while, but at what point did they decide we should have a Twitter alternative? I don't know. I really don't know, man, but it's interesting. And HRW brings up a good point too on Twitch. He says most times these startups want to build enough of a following to get bought out. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Twitter did. They found somebody dumb enough to buy it and pay what he paid for it, and they cashed out. So, and yeah, part of me kind of felt like Jack and Elon were kind of in cahoots, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. They probably eat dinner talking about
I
this.
really feel like it, because if you look at the stuff, like he's never been like, amid all the controversial stuff that's gone on with Twitter since he's left, he's never criticized Elon or anything about the app.
He pretty much defended.
He did. He's like, yeah, I don't know how hard it is to run Twitter.
Yes, just
like, I don't think it's hard to.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to try to fuck up as much as Elon has, man, honestly. So yeah, I'm sure running $1 billion company is hard, but it feels like he's intentionally trying to run into the ground, man. It doesn't even feel like he's trying to save it. So, and to Elon, I was gonna bring that up too, HRW. To your point that Threads might be the only real competition to Twitter, it's obvious because, like you said, number one, everybody, all the influencers and celebrities were quick to jump on it.
They were on it before I even heard of it.
Yeah. And now Elon, of all the replacement apps, this is the only one that Elon's trying to sue over. And he's basically said that Meta basically hired a bunch of ex-Twitter employees to make a fake Twitter or a copycat Twitter. I don't know if this is going to hold up in court. I mean, it's a free market, man.
I mean, yeah, he fired everybody.
Exactly.
Where are they supposed to go?
Exactly. So you can they don't own the copyright on what Twitter is. They own the name Twitter and the icon, but you can't copyright a social media platform just like how it functions. Anybody can do that. So very interesting. Tab says Threads sucks. I feel like from what I've seen of Threads, like it just, I don't know, man. People have made the comments like it feels like Twitter for Instagram users. How you follow different apps for different things, man. Like I feel like a lot of people who are really big on Instagram shouldn't be making tweets.
Yeah.
They should be making skits and clips and shit, or workout videos if they got a fat ass fit woman or whatever.
That's the thing. I'm worried about the Instagram models. They're gonna
I don't want to hear y'all thoughts, man. Keep it to a short blurb on a black background that I can easily skip over in your story and get some more ass pictures.
Just imagine your favorite Instagram model on Threads, like, hey, older girls always look for people like R. Or younger girls that always need to grow big.
Them girls with R. Kelly knew what they was asking for. They knew what they was in for. Yeah.
I always wanted the older guy when I was in high school. It'd be like, oh my God, now I gotta let you go.
Yep. Can y'all believe they really put Bill Cosby in jail right before he bought NBC? And then the fucking that smiley. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know about threads, man. But I look, like you said, Mark Zuckerberg don't put his feet in nothing half-assed.
Yeah,
If
he
they
like
said
man.
if they decided to take on Elon, they gonna take on Elon, man. And everybody jumped on that bitch. The celebrities were quick to jump on it. They made it easy to jump on it.
Yep.
So that's the real threat for Twitter, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yep. And I think, look, man, I think Twitter will still be around. I don't think it's gonna die tomorrow, but I definitely think it's in trouble, man. Mark Zuckerberg, he's playing Monopoly right now.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker built some hotels on Boardwalk Park. Dog,
Yep.
he got some, not no houses. He got hotels on Park Place, man. So I don't know how it's gonna look, man. I don't know. I just hope nobody else land over there.
Yeah. I don't know how it's gonna go, man. I know, like, look, everything is getting worse. I'm just trying to wean myself off the social media shit in general, man. Like, I'm really not trying to look for I know before I said I was trying to move away from Twitter. I just need a destination. But now I'm kind of like, man, all this shit's getting stupid, especially this week. Some of the topics were so fucking dumb that I saw trending. I'm like, I'm just tired of Twitter, period. I'm tired of social media, man.
Yeah.
I need to get outside more. I need to actually live life. I need to stop being online looking at this same 5 arguments over and over again on social media, man. I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah.
I heard that too, HRW. You said also hearing you can't delete threads without deleting your Instagram. Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm not surprised, man. Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook's
all
the
that
same
stuff,
way, yeah.
groups, man.
Yep.
Like, it's like, you see how much people get hacked on Instagram and they can never get their account back. It's so hard. You could get your account deleted real quick by saying something or playing some music or something like that. But when you get hacked, man, you can forget about it, man. People be scamming on your damn account. And there ain't nothing you can do, man. Which is another little conspiracy of mine. I feel like they in cahoots with that too. Because there's no way in hell that you could allow an account that be sitting there scamming people or scamming off of your account and can't get it shut down. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, but if you post porn, you'll get shut down real quick. Another thing too, they don't allow porn on threads. It's the same rules as Instagram. No nudity, no porn.
And that's why Twitter gonna last a little longer.
Yep.
Man, I go right back on Twitter and watch some of my favorite porn videos.
Yeah, the OnlyFans girls ain't gonna make it on threads, man. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. The social media wars have begun again, and we'll see who makes it out. But me in particular, man, I feel like Jordan in '98. I feel like this is it, man.
Win this one, and that's it.
I think I done had my last dance with social media, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
You gonna come back in a couple years.
I'm gonna come back like I'm gonna wear the 4-5 for the Wizards. I'm gonna be washed up on Blue Sky or whatever.
I know. I'm looking at you on threads like, man, like, dog, your tweets ain't hitting the same like it used to hit, man. Like, your shit trash. Your shit ain't funny no more. Hang it up.
Yeah, hang it up.
You might give us a 40-point game once or twice.
Like the last seasons of Vince Carter, man. Going from app to app, trying to rekindle the flame. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. But the one I'm just not gonna use Spill, man. I'm sorry. That shit just looks too corny to me, man. That's one I might try threads. I'm already on Blue Sky since you sent the invite. I was signed up right when you sent it. But I'm not gonna do Spill, man. That shit looks way too. I feel like the Jamel Hills of the internet should be over there, but not me.
Yeah, like this how Spills look.
Yeah, come on, man. That's like Instagram, basically, with those types of memes, man.
It is Instagram and Twitter together, pretty much. So it's like Twitter with pictures and memes.
It just made it easier to make reaction memes, man. But
Yeah.
it looks mad corny to me, dog. So I can't get on it. I can't fuck with it. We'll see who makes it out on top. People been gassing that one up too, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've been kind of bouncing around, seeing who's where and all this stuff, see how stuff is doing. So yeah, man, right now Threads is in the lead, which is no surprise because it's Meta.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Brown Chubby Bear says, I'm already having better conversations on Threads compared to Twitter. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't be too surprised because I feel like the algorithm for Twitter is all fucked up now, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to follow. Like, I feel like the bullshit goes viral so much easier on Twitter that it's hard to have like a real conversation about anything.
Yeah, and Twitter, I don't know if it's an Elon Musk thing or what, but they shadow ban a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff that should get a lot of reaction, but don't, because you might have posted a YouTube link or something like that, but some bullshit will go viral for the wrong reasons, and it's just So I don't know how long Threads is gonna be like this, but enjoy it while you can, man, because eventually all the assholes that's on Twitter going to switch over to Threads.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be the same shit, man.
Yeah, we'll see. It might just be clicked up, man. I feel like the nerd's gonna go to blue. It's gonna be like lunchtime in high school.
Yes,
you got the nerd table, which is blue sky. You got the black table or just a minority table. I don't want to say
the hood table is spills.
The hood table, I guess, is the hood table could be Threads too. I feel like
Threads is kind of the diverse table, though, man.
The Dwayne Wayne table is like spill, man. Like,
yes, no, it is. It is like the HBCU table.
Yeah,
where it's hey, we gotta support each other, y'all. They walking around with the African chain.
With the dikis,
yes, with the symbol Africa.
Yeah. The HBCU table is probably spill.
Yes.
And I feel like the jock table of all races, like there's the jocks, is Threads, and like the racist table is gonna be Twitter. Because that's always gonna be left, man. Like all the Elon Musk fanboys who think he does nothing wrong ever. And they think they should be able to say the N-word. They want to say the N-word and some bullshit like that. They're going to be all on Twitter. That's going to be all that's left after a while, man. So it's going to be like prison lunchtime or high school lunchtime or whatever. It's going to be everybody in their own corner of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. We'll see. But very interesting what's going on with the social media apps. And speaking of stupid ass social media debates and topics,
we talked about this one about 50 times since we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah, we're going with the Keke Palmer thing now, right? Yes, we are, because this is like the biggest thing on social media right now, man, especially in the black circles.
It's been happening for years, man.
Yeah. Keke Palmer, but the discussion itself, yes, 100% has been around since the beginning of time, basically. So Keke Palmer has a video out where she is slow dancing with Usher. She is wearing a dress that some might call revealing. I mean, it's kind of see-through, but she has like stuff on underneath, so it's not like you seeing like bare anything, but it could be called revealing. And she is slow dancing with Usher. And now, of course, Keke Palmer has a boyfriend, a baby daddy, and she's recently given birth. She did have the baby already, right?
Yeah.
She's giving birth, so she is a mother officially. And her boyfriend made the horrendous mistake of voicing his displeasure online. He basically said when he saw the video, he left a comment that this ain't a good look. You a mom now. I forget this dude's name. It doesn't even matter. I'm sure if you could look this up if you need to know who he is. But of course, this set up a firestorm on Twitter with everybody arguing their takes. You have women arguing that There's nothing wrong. He should be more secure. He don't make as much money as her anyway, so he has no right to say these things. And you have the men coming and saying, you women know if it was the other way around, you would have a problem with it. With a man dancing with a woman while you're in a relationship and have a kid. So a lot of back and forth going on. I tuned out because I've had it with these discussions, man. I saw what it was about. I saw the video, but this debate has been going on strong for like a whole week, man.
Yeah.
And I tuned out after day one. I couldn't take no more.
Me too.
I can't take this no more, man.
Yeah.
But we'll keep it quick on the podcast because I don't want to talk about this bullshit for that long either. But Figgy, what are your thoughts on this whole thing, man? Do you even think it deserves to be blown up like this?
No, I don't think it deserved to be blown up like this, but this is a Twitter topic. This is something they talked about before, and it happened in real life with somebody that everyone knows. So I think that's the only reason it blew up like this. But yeah, man, honestly, man, I don't even have a take. I don't even have a take for it, man. I think I will say this: the guy, the boyfriend, the baby daddy, whoever he is, I do felt like he made a mistake by going to social media. He should have just kept that in the house. To me, that kind of show you that maybe they wasn't really together. Maybe they was having problems. Maybe, like he couldn't have been happy at home, or their relationship couldn't have been happy because he wouldn't have made that tweet right then and there. If anything, if he was really upset, he would have waited till she got home or hit her up on the side and said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't appreciate that. But yeah, I think that was the only mistake in this deal. Look, man, I think we actually had this conversation before. I think it was a conversation. I forgot who it was, but we was asking.
I think it was the Chris Brown thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Chris Brown. Like, would you let your girl go on stage with Chris Brown or some shit like that?
Take these freaky pictures with Chris Brown where he got him bent over and shit.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, and I think I said I will be. I think I might have said I'll be okay with it. I think you might have said she for the streets. If she do that. But yeah, the guy. Look, man, I think it was more to it. A lot of people felt like it was just a happy home, and he just got jealous or something like that. I don't know if they were together, man. If they were together, I think Keke probably would have still did all that too, because it's Usher. I think every girl would probably do that if it was Usher, and that's kind of his shtick. So I think she would have ran with it too. But I don't know if they were together, man, because he got pretty upset, and I don't see myself doing that on Twitter like that. So clearly he ain't feel comfortable enough to hit her up. He felt more comfortable to go on Twitter. So that's strike number one. I don't think they're together. But yeah, I mean, if they were, man, I don't want to be the type of guy that say, hey, she's the head of the household, so he need to take whatever she do. I feel like that's not fair, man, because if it was the other way around, women wouldn't like that either, man. So look, I just don't like that type of energy of, hey, he ain't nobody anyway, so she could do what she want. Because the same girls would be mad whenever Usher doing whatever he want, and his unknown wife or girlfriend is at home upset. They would be totally offended by that. So, but that's all I got. We had the whole conversation. But it's just funny that conversation actually happening in real life.
Yeah, and I think that's why it blew up because it's like the imaginary situation finally came to life.
This is really
bullshit.
This is really a $200 date happening in real life. This is like if Keke Palmer went on a date and it was a $200 date and something happened, whatever the topic is.
Yeah,
and that really happened in real life.
She got taken out, but the bill was only $150, and she was like, or some shit like that.
Yeah, she
So,
was offended because he took her to her place and it was only like $100 or something.
yeah.
And called him
So
a cheap bastard.
exactly. I mean, I basically have your same thoughts, man, which is I think most reasonable people do. This shouldn't have been a social media conversation between them. He should have hit her. If he had a problem, this should have stayed in-house. The biggest mistake he made was going online with it because that's giving people exactly what they want. And now he done went and had to delete his social media accounts and shit, man. He done had to pull a ghost. He done went Patrick Swayze on us, man.
And he was, look, I ain't trying to talk about, he was like I don't want to say a lame, but I thought, I didn't even know he was Keke Palmer's baby daddy. I thought it was just some random dude weighing in on the conversation. Because clearly, I guess he's an Eagles fan. So he would be on Eagles Twitter a lot. So I thought that was just some random Eagles fan weighing in on it. They started digging up old tweets and old Instagram pictures and stuff like that, and was pretty much calling him a hypocrite. But it wasn't until later I found out that was the actual baby daddy. And I'm just like, oh shit.
Now,
like,
was that like public knowledge before, or did they find that out when this happened?
I don't know. I guess I don't know if they figured it out once he tweeted or what, but he didn't even have that much followers. It wasn't like he was an influencer and had like 20K followers or something. He ain't had that much. I don't think he probably had, I don't think he had over like maybe, I think I might have had more followers than him, or he had some as much as me. So I really thought he was just like some Eagles diehard, some shit. But yeah, he had to delete his shit.
So my question is, how did he bag Keke in the first place? Like, are you telling me we all had a shot?
Man, I wish.
that pisses me off hearing that. Like, I didn't know he was just some regular dude. Hopefully he was like came from a rich family or something, or had some kind of leg up on us. Because if he was just a regular ass nigga who shot his shot, I'm like, damn, that could have been us.
Yeah. And so Keke Palmer, I like Keke Palmer, man. I think she fine. Mm-hmm. She low key my type.
Yeah.
So if you told me I had a chance to knock that up,
tell me there was a chance, man. Damn shame. But yeah, that the biggest mistake he made was going on social media with it. Because I mean, not only is she a famous black woman, she's like one of the darlings of Black Twitter, man.
She a favorite.
She's a Black Twitter. She probably in the top 5 of Black Twitter's favorite people. Okay, her and Michelle Obama tied for number 1, probably.
Yeah, she could do no wrong.
Yeah, so going after her, period, was just a mistake on his part on social media. It should have been handled behind closed doors. And the other things I agree to, of course, man. Like, I feel like if it was your wife or some girl I was talking to, and she was like slow dancing with Usher, we would be bothered by it, but we also wouldn't think it was that big of a deal because, like, we would know, like, Usher ain't gonna fuck with you. Okay, probably not. He's older and smarter. He ain't fucking. Chris Brown would fuck random fans. I feel some type of way about Chris Brown. Yeah. But Usher moves smarter than that, man. Like, so Usher ain't just gonna fuck some random ass girl that he met and just sang a song to, for the most part. But he really could have fucked Keke Palmer. They might have already fucked.
Yeah, they both. So, I can see them together.
Yeah.
So it's not like a random nobody. That's Keke Palmer who got some pull too.
That dance seemed very intimate, man. It seemed very intimate. So I feel like he got a right to feel a certain way about it. But then again, I don't know the dynamics of the relationship. I don't know, like, they're not married. So maybe there was just a sneaky link that went wrong and she got knocked up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against him for feeling a certain type of way. It's just the way he went about it, which was corny.
Yeah.
Tab says that's how Usher got herpes. Allegedly.
And
to be fair, with the woman that accused him, now that I'm thinking about it, he could have fucked anybody. Maybe I'm wrong, because
the girl. She was a She was like, what's the girl Gabrielle Marie or whatever? The big You know the big chunky girl.
Yeah.
The played Precious.
Yeah. Like she wasn't that bad, but she was in the ballpark.
You look like they look like they could have been related.
Yeah, possibly her light-skinned cousin or something. But yeah, man, it's maybe if that was true, then yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he could have fucked anybody. But yeah, that whole thing was just handle it inside your own home. You ain't got to. Not everything needs to be on social media, and not everything's got to be discussed seriously.
Yeah. Do you feel like and we can leave this after this, but do you feel like Keke was wrong for doing what she did, or
it depends. Like I said, it depends on the dynamics of the relationship, man. Like if they're serious boyfriend, girlfriend, like trying to get married and raise a kid, yeah, she was wrong. If they have an understanding where we had this baby, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and you do what you want to do, then I would understand that too. So
Yeah.
the fact is, I just don't know. But if it was like a serious thing between them, then yeah, she was wrong. Especially for doing it on fucking video. You know, like at least fucking do that shit behind closed doors if you're gonna disrespect.
She looked like she was gonna let him bust it open.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. But it will depend on whatever their private situation is. But if it was me, I would feel a certain type of way, man. But I think all of us men would, of course.
And I kind of see why he felt a certain type of way because it's, first of all, it's Usher, and your celebrity baby mother is out there. They out there looking like a couple pretty much, and you probably, no disrespect, but a nobody. So you could lose your girl to Usher real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that they said
security, man.
That's what I think that's what Riley said in the Boondocks.
Yeah, no, that it was funny because it was just exactly like that episode, literally. So much of the Boondocks has come true, man. The R. Kelly shit, this shit, the gay rapper. Like, there's so many episodes of the Boondocks that literally came true, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. They the Black Simpsons, pretty much.
Really, though. So, yeah, that shit was crazy, man. Yeah. Other things that happened this week. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this. Victor Wemby. I don't even proud. I will eventually learn his last name, but until I see NBA games, he's Victor Wemby to me. Okay. Yeah. Victor Wemby's security team was accused of slapping Britney Spears. Apparently, Britney Spears approached Victor trying to get a picture, and she was trying to tap him, get his attention, and somebody with Victor's team allegedly like backhanded her or moved her or slapped her, and she was upset about it. And they released video. In the video, it didn't even seem like she touched him, but she was definitely trying to get his attention. He kept it moving, and she was allegedly, apparently, I've heard that her hand hit herself.
Yeah,
like somehow he mushed her or pushed her, and she slapped herself somehow.
So I watched the video, and the security guard kind of just, I guess she was trying to tap him, and he kind of did one of these, like try to like move her hand type of thing, but like it was more of a backhand, and
HRW says a pimp slap. Yeah, something like that. So this became like a big topic today. Some people were upset, like they're asking, why was Victor acting like she was a nobody or something? Why didn't he just address her? Other people were saying she should have minded her business and not overstep boundaries, trying to get his attention. I mean, looking at how Britney Spears looks today, I think it's completely possible he didn't recognize who she was, man. Like, she does not look like she did in 2001, all right?
And first of all, how old is he? He got to be like 18,
like
19?
22, 20 something.
Like, I mean, I'm sure he know who she is.
Yeah.
But do he really know who she is?
I don't think he's a fan. He's 19 years old.
Yeah.
So how old was he when Hit Me Baby One More Time came out? Like 5? He wasn't having the feelings that we had
And
when
shit,
that
was
video
that-
came out.
Yeah, was that shit? I thought that shit was in the 90s. But he was a kid in France. So yeah, like I'm sure he was walking around like, oh my God, is that Britney Spears?
Yeah.
In a crowd of people with people that was pretty much following him. Like,
Tab on YouTube says he's her son's age. He didn't see or hear her. He had ear pods in, and she was running up behind. Yeah, well, in that case, she fucked up.
I was actually shocked how much of a groovy she was being.
Yeah,
I feel like
she knew. I'm surprised she knew who he was.
Me too. Because
I just saw a tall nigga and said, "You must be in the NBA." Let me get a picture.
I feel like people should have been running after Britney because I feel like she still got rabid fans. So it was just weird seeing her being the groupie, like trying to tap him. So I don't know. I thought that was strange, man. Like I mean, I feel bad for her because shouldn't nobody get hurt like that? I don't know if she hurt, but that shouldn't happen to anybody. But let's be real, this would not be news if it was a regular Joe sitting there trying to tap.
Britney Spears has some crazy online fans too, man. That's one thing. So once they get involved, it's everybody else's fault. Okay, but hers. Tab says her kids play basketball. I'm sure she knew via her twins. Don't ask me how I know this. You seem to know a lot about this.
Yeah,
Tab.
man.
You locked in. You locked in on Britney Spears news, man.
Hey, we're gonna see on Twitter at Tab Tech Britney Stan 0055998.
Yeah, man. He might have a burner.
Baby, one more time.
Nah, you locked in, man. We appreciate the info though, man. So do you have any thoughts about this, man? I really don't have anything else to say more than, you know, she's a not it ain't 1998 no more, man. You got to learn the hard way, the same way Madonna has to learn, the same way a lot of these people got to learn. Like you ain't got the juice like that no more. You can't just run up on people.
Yeah, like I said, it's Britney Spears. Do she really got to run up on somebody like that? Like she couldn't get her team or manager. I don't even know what she's doing. I know she got a residency in Vegas, but she couldn't get nobody to say, "Hey, get Victor, so I can take a picture with him or something." She got to be in the crowd running after him too. I thought that was strange, but I ain't really got thoughts on it. I did think it was kind of weird to see them two in the same sentence in some drama like this. I had to read it twice. I'm like, wait, what? Like Victor's team, Wemby's team, smacked Britney Spears. Like, wait, what? Like, how did that even happen? And I thought it was something innocent. I thought she was probably in a crowd or something like that, and something popped off. But I did not expect her to to be running after him like that. I thought that was a little strange.
Yeah, and the uncomfortable thing that nobody wants to admit, because there's a whole thing about Britney Spears and how her dad and her parents had like a conservatorship regarding her, and like they owned all her assets and they had control of all her bank accounts and money and all this stuff.
She couldn't do shit without them.
Yeah, because she had mental issues and she was in rehab. And people remember that time when she was like bald and shaved all her hair off and was really going through it. Yeah. And people, I think over time, her fans made it seem like her parents were the problem. And to be fair, they might have been, you know, because she was making a lot of money and none of that money was going to her. You know, they had control of all of her financials. So recently they went back to court and she got back control of her estate and all her stuff. And she cut her father and all them people out. She's finally free. Free Britney, they said. They said, free Britney. And ever since then, like, she's been acting very strange on social media, man. Like, she's been posting weird videos of her dancing badly with some sunken eyes. And her makeup looks all fucked up. She be looking high, man. She'll
Yeah.
post like 100 pictures in a row of her like basically naked, but covering up her nipples and all this stuff, and just some really weird stuff with her, man. It's like it's possible that she was being taken advantage of by her parents and family. But it's also possible she's still unstable, man.
Yeah.
I feel like something probably happened because she got on so young and she was so beautiful when she came on. Like it's very possible something happened that really fucked
Yeah.
her up early on, man.
And to defend her a little bit, it seemed like a lot of kids or child stars or people that get on very early, the fame just gets to them so much.
Yep.
There's so many people in their pockets and their heads and all that stuff. And some people can't survive that, man. Some like we seen it with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson been a star since he was like 5 years old. And all we heard all the jokes flying and all this stuff talking about he like playing with toys as a grown man and kids and all this other stuff, and he was very weird. I think that had a lot to do with it, man. Like he had to grow up real fast. He ain't had time to be a kid. So a lot of that stuff mentally can take a toll on you. So like would have been like that if she wasn't famous? I don't know. Or maybe she do have some stuff going on. I feel like everybody got some type of mental stuff going on anyway.
Yeah.
But like when you get money and fame and all that stuff at a young age, where the spotlight is on you at all times, and whenever you mess up on something, the spotlight is on you and people judge you, that stuff could drive you crazy. Look at Kanye.
Yep.
Kanye wasn't always like this. So I don't know.
Yeah. And I think she needs people around her to really check her, man. Like you said, she shouldn't have been the one running up on Victor trying to get a picture. She should have had somebody be like, hey, we got Britney Spears here. You want to take a picture? It shouldn't have been her running up like a fucking crazy fan, man. That was weird.
Yeah, just imagine one of our favorite childhood stars just running up on a basketball player. Imagine somebody like a Lil Kim. Just imagine you sat there and saw you hear Lil Kim got smacked in the face by Wemby's security. And you like, what the fuck? Maybe they was in a club or something. Maybe they got into it or something like that.
Yeah, like imagine Justin Timberlake running up on somebody by himself and getting smacked, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you Justin Timberlake, or you like you couldn't link up with him at one point. Like, dog, I'm sure that ain't hard to. I'm sure that's not a hard get to get. I'm sure she can make a couple calls. She can call her management or whatever, and they can set up a one-on-one meeting or something like that where she can take a picture with her. Like she got to be scrambling through the arena or wherever they was at the hotel trying to get a picture. That's crazy, man. That's something I expect some San Antonio Spurs fans to do.
Yeah, really, man. Like I said, and they're saying she had inadvertently hit herself in the face. So it seems like everybody's being cleared of all wrongdoing here. So like they're saying she hit herself in the face. Yep, nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, guys.
Adam Silver made the call. Like, hey, don't get our star. This is the next LeBron, okay? You better not get him in no hot water over this bullshit.
Yeah.
Now they're saying she hit herself. So yeah, nothing to see here, folks. Other things going on this week, man. Let's talk about Drake is making some headlines, man. He's on tour now. I believe he's on tour with 21 Savage. And I think he's been having some weird stuff. Like Drake always puts on a show, and he's had a show where he's I think he had a hologram of his younger self, and he gave his younger self a book or something really weird and artsy. You know how Drake is. But apparently he has a scroll of stuff that goes on his stage, and he mentioned the fact that Donald Glover, or otherwise known as Childish Gambino, when he performs and raps, he called Childish Gambino's song "This Is America" overrated and over awarded. And I think the reason he brought this up, actually, I know the reason he brought this up because he mentioned it in the little scroll, was the fact that Donald Glover had an interview recently, I believe, with GQ magazine, and he admitted that This Is America started off as a diss song towards Drake, but it evolved into something else. But he admitted, without any question about it, that it started off as a diss song towards Drake. So this is Drake being petty again by bringing this up and calling This Is America over awarded and overrated. Do you think Drake has a point here, or is he just being petty because it was a diss towards him originally?
So I'm kind of curious to know, how was it a diss? Like, what was he dissing to Drake about in this song? Because I ain't getting no type of diss vibes. It seemed like he. I will say this. It seemed like when I listened to that song, it seemed like he was kind of clowning the way people rapped. With the kind of it seemed like he was kind of clowning the way rap was at the moment. But I ain't really take it as a Drake diss out of all things. But anyway, yeah, it's Drake being petty, because Drake wouldn't have said this if he didn't hear about that GQ interview. So of course he's being petty. He got to clap back. It's Donald Glover. I think he's not a threat towards Drake or nothing like that, but it's Donald Glover. He do got some Hollywood pull. So yeah, he had to make a little clap back, have some fun with it. I don't know if they got a real beef or nothing like that. They probably cool, but yeah, it's Drake being petty.
I think I don't know if Drake is really envious of anybody, but I think if he were, I would think he'd be a little envious of Donald Glover, because Donald Glover is kind of succeeded in everything that Drake has tried. You know, Drake started off as an actor, he got out of it, and now Donald Glover is like this famous actor known for one of the best shows on TV, according to some people. And he's really been a guy he wasn't really seen as a serious actor. Like, he was in that Drake lane. You know, he started off on a sitcom in a Community.
Yeah.
And he grew into a respected actor.
Yeah. Rapper
and actor.
And singer, yeah.
And he's won Grammys. He's won all types of awards. And his stuff is, I think his work is more critically acclaimed than Drake's. It doesn't sell as much, not nearly as much, but I think it's seen as more like serious and artsy than Drake's music is. Drake's music is seen as pop music, you know? Yeah. So I think that I think Drake is competitive. I think he sees everybody that he's not super cool with as some kind of competition. We know he's gone back and forth with Kendrick and people like that. I think he's got some probably beef with J. Cole as well. Anybody seen his contemporaries, I think he has some beef with or is kind of petty towards. And I think Donald Glover is the guy who was like, that Drake probably feels like that should have been him. You know, he probably feels like he should have been the award-winning actor. He should have been the guy who makes this music that everybody thinks is, you know, so great, and the critics love it, and artsy and meaningful. We don't really make the music like that, man. And I think it comes also, I think Rihanna was a big Donald Glover fan too. I remember she was performing at a show for her or something. I just remember Rihanna being linked in it, and I remember seeing Rihanna while he was performing, and she was losing her mind, man. Like, she looked like she was in love watching him perform that song from Awaken. What's this called? Redbone.
Redbone.
Yeah, dog. She was losing her mind over that song, man. So I feel like he wants to be that guy. He wants to be the guy who makes the music that Rihanna goes crazy for, and he's really you can't buy that, man. You know, you can't manufacture that. That's got to be something that comes more naturally. So I don't know. I think there's more than just that being revealed as a diss. I think there's been bad blood there for a minute.
Yeah.
So, because you also have to ask yourself, like, why would Donald Glover volunteer that information? You know,
yeah,
nobody would have guessed that song was a Drake diss.
Yeah, and I
just
wonder,
put that out there.
And I'm wondering, why do we want to diss Drake?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lyrics for this song too. I I don't know. Maybe he changed the lyrics up. I don't know, but I just don't see it. This is America. Skirt, skirt, whoop. Don't catch you slipping. Look at how I'm living. Police be tripping now. Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area.
Yeah, I think from how he worded it in the interview, I think before he came up with the current lyrics, he imagined it as being like a Drake diss. So maybe the song was different, and then he said,
Mhm.
"Nah, let's make it a song about America and a situation and violence and all that shit." But I think originally he heard the beat and he said he was like, maybe there were some subliminals towards Drake in it that he removed. I don't know.
Yeah,
But the current song in its current form is not a reference or diss towards Drake at all, I feel. So,
yeah. I don't really see it. Yeah.
so why would you even bring that up is my question.
Yeah.
If it's true, why bring up the fact that it was a Drake diss?
Yeah. It
I
must
don't
be
know.
it must be a little spice there that we
Yeah,
don't know about. And now it's starting to come to the light a little bit.
it's possible, man. It's possible. I'm sure he'll get asked about it eventually, so we'll see. But I don't know. Pretty interesting. What's up, Miguel? I see you trying to vent your in the loop
Oh, yeah.
rage towards us again. Yeah. We're the in the loop response, the PR department for in the
Yeah.
loop, according to Miguel. He said, Brandon Scott got me hot with his dusty takes. I guess you're talking about Dusty Baker or like
Yeah.
his old person takes.
Oh no, I think he talking about Dusty.
Oh,
Dusty
okay.
Baker.
What do you say? You say you got to get
Pretty
fired?
much, and I guess people be kind of going in on Dusty too much. Like you think it's fake outrage a little bit. People say, "Oh, Dusty being Dusty. Dusty got to go." This is all on Dusty. Every time they lose, this is all on Dusty.
Yep.
Dusty in over his head. So
Yep.
I think he felt like Dusty. A lot of people blaming Dusty a little too much.
Of course. You know that. How long did the World Series goodwill last?
It ain't last.
Was it even 30 games?
It just lasted a couple months. It lasted during the off season, man.
Oh, Dusty got to go. 2 games into the season. Oh, Dusty got to go. We're 0-2.
This is all on Dusty. Dusty in over his head. Dusty being Dusty.
Oh man! Even during the playoff round where they won the World Series, I remember every loss was Dusty's fault.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until they won the World Series that they were like, I got to admit, Dusty did his thing. What? So all season long, he could do no right. Then
Yeah.
suddenly, when he wins the whole thing, is okay, I got to give up to Dusty.
Dusty being Dusty.
Miguel says they won besides Dusty. Man, stop it, okay? Stop it, all right? Dusty tried to throw the World Series. All right, man, enough. Miguel, I'm sorry. Look, I give everybody space to vent their sports frustration, but don't hit me with that shit, man. Come on, dog. He tried to throw the World Series.
And look, man, I feel like Dusty did his thing. I feel like it just wasn't an easy World Series, walk. So look, man, I ain't sitting here and saying Dusty don't do anything wrong. Like, of course, he screw up a couple times and all that stuff. But this year, man, this is not the same team as last year. You got a lot of people hurt. Like, I just think you can have AJ Hinch on his team right now. I don't know if they'd be. I think they'd probably be right where they are now. So, but it is funny whenever Dusty leaves somebody in a little longer. See, Dusty left him in too long. Whenever he pulled him a little early, Dusty pulled him too early. It's just like everything he do, Dusty is wrong. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He probably ain't gonna be here next year. To be honest, I don't know if he's gonna be here next year. He probably just gonna ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, I'm sure he retire. He's getting up there, but yeah, all this blaming Dusty shit got old, man. Come on now, y'all Y'all need a new scapegoat. All right. The Dusty shit got old last year when y'all blamed him for everything that went wrong. Then the Astros won the whole thing. So I don't know. It's getting old for me, man, personally. Other news, it was announced Kobe Bryant will be the cover of the NBA 2K24. I'm guessing because it's 24. He wore 24. See what they did there.
Ooh.
Yeah, very, very, very I didn't expect it. Like how 23 they brought back Jordan last year. Now they're bringing back Kobe for 24.
Who gonna be 20? Who gonna be on 2K25? Who the best number 25?
Miguel says game 1 he didn't take JV Verlander out the game. Game 3 left. Yeah, he didn't take the Cy Young winner out. Like, but come on, dog. They won 4-2, dog. Yeah, like the fucking series was super close, man. All right. Miguel says he's done. Yeah. I'm not even a baseball guy like that, man. I admit, but the blame Dusty shit, like y'all gotta get a new scapegoat, man. Come on, man. Like, yeah, y'all don't even want to give him no
gotta
damn
get
grace
Dusty a
after
little credit, man. I ain't sitting there saying he's the best manager of all time or anything like that. I do think Dusty can get in his own way at times, but look, man, I don't think they would have made it to the World Series twice in a row like that with somebody else. Because if it was that easy, I feel like the Astros would have just got whoever was on the bench to coach that team.
Yeah,
manage that team, and I don't think they would have got to the World Series with just anybody. I think Dusty played. They had a good team. They had a great team, but yeah, they won it last year, man. I don't think it would have been that. I don't think anybody could have won it with that team.
No, he tried to throw the series, man. He tried to throw. He
don't want his first World Series, so he tried to throw the game.
He's on the take. You
Yeah,
gotta look into him.
He like 74. He like 74 years old. He don't want his first World Series championship, so he tried to throw that game.
Yep. Gotta look into it, man. HRW says it sounds like somebody lost their car payment betting. Hey, y'all, the commoners got beef, man. Y'all hash this out, okay? Because we are not the in the loop explanation team, man. I don't know what Brandon Scott said, but that dude's cool with me, man. And usually, of all people to get mad at for their takes, I feel like he's like the least hot takey guy I've ever heard, man. Yeah, I don't think he ever says anything ridiculous. You know,
he don't really say nothing too much. Of course, everybody says some stuff, and I don't agree with him on that. But
yeah, he ain't like you talking like he Landry, man. Okay, I'm surprised it's in. I'm surprised you didn't come out talking about Landry. You came out talking about Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott is a pretty reasonable dude, man. I don't think he tries to say things just to get a rise out of people. So. Other things that happened this week. Actually, that might be about it. Oh yeah, the Kobe Bryant thing. I don't have anything else to say about that. That's nice. The only thing I hate about the NBA 2K thing now is like they got several cover people now.
Yeah, I seen a woman on there. Somebody in the WNBA.
Yeah, they do that bullshit now.
I was like, I didn't even know who it was. Like I
wasn't Sabrina Ionescu.
Oh, okay. I think I did hear her. I think
Nigga, don't put.
They got to be fair, man.
No. Why don't the WNBA got their own? Well, I know why.
Yeah. I was about to say, are you really asking that question? No, they can't even sell out games, man.
Yeah, man. That she would sell three copies. Miguel asked if Sue Bird. Didn't Sue Bird retire? I don't know.
I think she retired last year. I
want to say she retired.
Yeah, she had the Kobe tour.
Yeah. Dog, somebody posted her stat line
against LeBron. And then they show how much he made in the league versus him or something.
Nah, not just that. Like somebody said she was one of like the most important people or the best players in all of sports. at her retirement press conference, and somebody posted her stat line, her career stat line, and said, "Come on, y'all, this somebody like this in the NBA will be on the bench." You know, this is like a 6-man stat line, and she's one of the best players in all the sports. So, like, look,
I do look. I feel like the women deserve some credit for playing because they be look. I feel like
they ball.
They be balling, man. They super talented, but it's kind of like how we was talking about with the female rappers. For some reason, it's not catching on, man. People not really interested in watching WNBA like that. I feel like more people watch women's college basketball more than the WNBA. So I don't know, man. Like I give them credit, man. They be doing their thing, and I'll be a little more into it than I used to be. But that's still not saying much because I didn't even know who this person was.
Nigga, imagine if you were 14 years old, and for Christmas your parents got you NBA 2K24. And you open it, you waiting to see Kobe Bryant's iconic dunk on the front cover, and you see this chick. Then your friends come over and want to play the game, and you take the case out. They start cracking on you, man.
Or what about the loading screen? When you go on the loading screen, I would like to see how many people buy this cover. I would like to see how many people actually go out and get this cover.
Dog. Like, they got Kobe on the cover, man. Maybe if they had, like, if the choice was Ben Simmons or her, maybe it might be a little more equal.
Hey, I would still weigh my options. Like,
yeah, me too. Ben might come back this year, man. I don't know.
Miguel says it's cheaper with the girl.
No, dog, it's the same price.
Hey,
it's just a piece of paper on it.
That should be a legit question. Hey, if it's Ben Simmons or her, I would be like, which one the cheaper one? Is the one cheaper?
Yeah, the pre-owned one got the okay. The pre-owned one is a girl. I'll get the pre-owned one. Okay, I'll just tell niggas I lost the case and put it inside a big CD sleeve or something.
One of the white sleeves.
yeah, or that big ass binder of CDs and games and shit. Just put it in there. HRW asked Figgy, have you been watching Wimbledon? Did you watch the Sloan Stevens blow the match?
I actually was watching. So that match was on when I was doing the show. So I was doing the show and looking up at it. She really blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, man.
Damn.
Dog, she was pretty much she was up or should have been up 2 sets. So she won her first set. The second set, she was up like 5-3, if I'm not mistaken. So she just had to win that last I want to say the last set or she had to win that last game, and she would have won the match. She blew that, and the other girl, I want to say she won like 2 she won 2 straight sets pretty much. So she blew it. All she had to do was win that last game, and she would have went to the next round, and she blew that, man. I was telling somebody because I remember it was a time when people was trying to crown her as like the next black tennis female tennis player that's going to take off, and she never really took off like that, man. She was, I don't know, she was always okay, but like she ain't even ranked. Like I enjoy watching her. She cute, but like I don't know. She ain't in my top 10, man. I feel like I don't want to say her career was a disappointment, but she never really got that far, man. I think she probably got far like maybe twice, but she never really took that step, and she getting a little older now, so you know how that go in tennis.
Yeah, and didn't Coco lose in the first round too?
She did. She
lost
to another American. I think it might have been Sophia Kenin.
I think she was unranked too, wasn't she?
Coco.
No, the girl she was facing.
Yeah, I think she is. She was pretty good at one point too. But that's how tennis is, man. Women's tennis it's really a crap shoot, man. Because one moment it could be the champion. Man, they could get knocked out. We seen it with Naomi Campbell. I would say Naomi Campbell.
Naomi, I was gonna ask about her too. She's pregnant, so she's out. But
yeah, man, it's all over the place, man. You ain't got
supposed
nobody
to be carrying the torch, man. What happened to all these? The next Serena, the next we can't even get it there. The next version of her sister.
Yeah,
So,
and ain't no net Serena, man. I think Venus might. She was in the Wimbledon too. I think she might have lost too.
Oh yeah, she's still playing, ain't she?
She's still playing. That's crazy, man.
It is.
I seen a stat saying her first time in the Wimbledon or her first win in the Wimbledon. I think Roger Federer was like a rookie. He was like a junior rookie or some shit. I'm like, damn. And Roger Federer, I think he might have just gave it up too. I think he retired recently.
Venus is 43 years old, man.
That's crazy, man.
Still playing. That's wild. HRW says, think Venus was up in her match and lost. Damn shame, man.
Yeah, but see, I kind of give her a pass because first of all, she's 43, and she had her moment, man. I think I feel like her moment. I feel like her career is kind of a little under the rug a little bit because how good Serena was. Because Serena just took off. Once she beat her, she just took off, and she was top dog since. But Venus had a really good career, man. I would say a Hall of Fame career. But in tennis, you don't usually have people like Serena that last that long. Usually they have a nice little run and that's it. With the guys, man, it's always the same fucking three, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like Federer, it was always Nadal, and it was always Joker
now, yep.
Yeah, it was always the three, man. So it get a little dicey once in a while, but it's always the Joker, man. He win everything, man.
Yep. Isn't he about to hang it up too? I thought he was retiring. Maybe I heard something wrong, but I thought he was
I ain't hear that.
Hang it up.
I ain't hear that, but I know Nadal is like 37. So I wouldn't be surprised if he hanging up in a couple years.
He's 36. Oh, I guess he took it back. I think he hinted at something, but he's gonna play until whenever.
Yeah, he's close to breaking that record too.
Yeah.
So he probably will once he break that record.
Shit crazy. Oh yeah, breaking news. The Summer League debut of Victor Wembanyama versus the Charlotte Hornets in the Summer League tonight. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 of 13 from the field.
Damn.
Officially a bust. I'm calling it. Yep. It's a bust.
Yep.
It's over.
Man.
Amin is a Hall of Famer based off of this Summer League, then he's a bust, okay? I'm calling it.
Let me see what Rockets Twitter talking about, man.
Oh, you getting lit up, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I think Amin Thompson had a good game.
Yep.
Let me look on here right now.
Dog, they already got memes this dude's up. They said first half 1 of 7 field goals, 0 of 3 threes, 3 of 3 free throws, 2 turnovers, 5 points. Yeah, he's getting lit up, man.
Yeah.
Officially a bust. Too bad. So much for a generational player. He's a bust.
Yeah, let's see what's
you know they going in, man.
Hey, hold on. Let's read this shit together. Cause I know he getting lit up.
Yep. I'm reading the Sports Center replies, man. They say this is supposed to be the greatest prospect of all time. A lot of well, that was a bust. Ass, mid.
Yeah.
Somebody said the next MJ. Oh man. Miller clears this fraud. Britney put a curse on this man. Yeah, it's Britney Spears' fault.
Somebody said this girl was talking about
But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
Yeah, man, that video is gonna be that video is gonna get a whole lot of traction this year. I already know. That fucking airplane video.
Yeah, that was in the DFW.
Nigga, somebody said Wemby for 3 and like a picture of a car bomb going off. Like, what the fuck? He said, damn, only 9. Britney Spears could never. 2 of 13 is not a check. Stop glazing. It's a debut. Chill out. Don't bring reasonable takes into this, okay? Don't bring no common sense.
Yeah.
They said number 1 overall pick. Really? Yeah, man. They going in. Off of 1 summer league game, he's officially a bust. So be very happy. Rockets Twitter. We got a W according to summer league hot takes. Victor Wembanyama is officially a bust.
Yeah, Britney Spears in the stands.
That's too funny, man. God, they fucking lit this dude up, man.
Yeah. Oh shit, he got done throwing by who was that? I don't even know who that is.
I don't even that looked like fucking Marcus Smart, but I know it can't be.
Nah, Marcus Smart.
Fucking that colored mohawk is wild though. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This ain't France, boy.
Yeah.
You play real basketball over here. Motherfucker better go back to Manu Ginobili, get some lessons, man.
Yeah.
HRW says Jabari hit a buzzer beater. Oh, good for him.
Okay, I know Rockets Twitter on fire. Now it's funny because somebody tweeted earlier, like I think it was Big Sarge. Shout out to Big Sarge. He said, "Hey, just a reminder, this is the first summer league game. So this don't mean pretty much saying this don't mean anything. So don't go berserk of what you see. It's only summer league. And what everybody about to do now? They about to go berserk."
Yep. Miguel said he's a poor man. Chet Holmgren. Speaking of which, I heard his odds for being like the rookie of the year. I feel like if you missed your rookie year, you shouldn't be able to get rookie of the year the next year. I think this debate's been going on for a long time. I just don't like that shit, man. I feel like if you miss a whole year, but you have the training facilities and you're practicing against real NBA players for a full year, you should not be able to go into the NBA the next year and be rookie of the year. You missed your rookie year, man.
Yeah, that's what happened with Blake Griffin. I think Blake Griffin missed his first year. And then he came back the next year and was playing like a fucking MVP and got rookie of the year. We're just like, damn, that ain't even fair like that, man.
It really isn't, man.
Yeah, like this really ain't baseball.
If you miss your rookie year because of injury or whatever, you just got to give that award up. It's not fair you get to be a rookie again the next year.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't like that, man. They got to change that shit.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the NBA, did you see I guess they announced how the tournament gonna be, the in-season tournament?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me try to find it. But so they're gonna have this tournament in Vegas, pretty much.
Okay.
It's gonna be like, I want to say it's gonna be like December 9th, December 6th through the 9th or something like that. And the stats and all that stuff is going to count towards the regular season, except for like the championship game.
Okay. Why would that game not count suddenly?
Man, I don't even know. So, so it's set for December 7th and 9th in Las Vegas. Yeah, and say all the stats that are accumulated during that time will count towards players' regular season totals, except for the championship game.
Look, the only way it'll be lit is if the players care. So the NBA, they really got to make the players care about this bullshit, man. If the players buy in, the fans will buy in. But if it's like the All-Star game where the players don't give a shit and just do whatever, the fans won't give a shit either. So the number one task of the NBA is to make players care. And I don't know if they can or will, but we'll see.
Yeah. So during the first 6 weeks of the season, there will be designated days where teams will play group games. Every team in their pool once, with 2 of them at home and 2 on the road. This will determine the winner of each pool, and that will spark a single elimination format with 2 wild card teams as well. And so I guess December 7th will be the semifinals of the tournament in Las Vegas, and December 9th will be the championship games. That don't even make sense. So I guess reportedly there will be a $500,000 award for each player on the winning team, which they will probably cough that up in the night, unless you one of them players on the far bench that barely made the team or something. But yeah,
I think the time frame is bad. I think they should have pushed that into after the football season. Because in December, man, NFL is really heating up. You're getting towards the end of the regular season and the playoffs at that point.
This is coming right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good spot for that tournament, man. I think it should happen after February, after all NFL is done and everybody really starts paying attention to the NBA. That would have been a better time for it. I don't think it's good to have it in December. Nobody's gonna give a shit, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. And the thing is, too, I guess the good thing is it's not like, I guess the champion, the person who playing in the championship game, I guess that will be like that's an extra game. So if they play every game this season, it'd be 83 games instead of 82. So I guess they'll be playing regular games, but throughout the season before that December game. But I guess it count towards that tournament.
Okay.
So it'd be like a regular season game, but it'd be one of them games where it's like, hey,
it actually matters who wins tonight.
If you win that game tonight, you'll be eligible for the tournament or whatever it is. It's I don't know. It just sounds sick. I don't want to shit on it too much because we might end up saying this is cool, but I just don't see. I don't see a city sitting there celebrating in-season tournament championship or whatever that is.
I mean,
like if the Rockets win it, are we going to throw a parade for it? I mean, is like, do it really matter?
Knowing the fans here, yeah, maybe. Look, I think it will matter to teams that have never won anything. Like, let's say the Hornets win it. Let's say the Wizards win it. It don't mean a lot to them, but let's say the Lakers win it. They won't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
You know, let's say a team Miami or a team that's won recently. Would they give a shit about it? No. And Miguel asked, they're trying to be like soccer. That's exactly what they're trying to do with this, man.
It actually came out of his mouth. Yeah. He's saying just like the soccer leagues in Europe, and I think he brought up the NCAA, how they have a couple tournaments and all that stuff. Yeah. That's exactly what he said.
So, like I said, man, the players got to buy into it. I think the fans will buy into whatever the players try hard for. And yeah, it won't be celebrated like an NBA championship. But if it's a team that is like if Portland wins it or a team that's been starred for any winning thing, they would really appreciate any kind of title, man. Even if it's a Fugazi in-season tournament title. They ain't going to they ain't going to take off of work to celebrate it. But they'll be happy about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's another thing I want to bring up real quick. I know we up against it, but I bet another thing on Twitter, or not Twitter, but tennis. So I was at the gym on the treadmill, and I noticed how so it's a guy named Daniil Medvedev, who was from Russia, who was playing. And you know how on tennis in the little corner they got the name and the sets and then the flag and all that stuff. I noticed Medvedev didn't have his flag. So I'm like, damn, like what's going on here? Like, I'm thinking like I mean, it got it. Obviously, it's something going on with like Russia. I don't know if they trying to take a stance or what. So I ended up Googling and see what was going on. And apparently the Wimbledon is trying to take a stance against Russia, or like a political stance or something. I don't know. But so they pretty much banned the Russian flags and they banned the Russian journalists from attending the Wimbledon. But
That's wild.
they kept the Russian player. They said the players. Yes, they said the players they were fine with the players playing, but they banned the journalists and the flag. And now, like, to me, I feel, my opinion, I feel like it's a little half-ass because first of all, Medvedev is like ranked number 3. So if they would have, I felt like they should have just, if they gonna ban Russia. Like, don't have anybody in it. Like, I hate for them to do that to him because he's a good player, but I just seem like it seemed like that's just kind of silly, man.
It is silly, man. And they did the same thing with this past Olympics because the Russians got exposed for doping. And because of that, they said Russia technically can't be in the Olympics. Like the country can't be represented in the Olympics. The players couldn't have the flag. Like they went by some other name. I forget what they used, but it wasn't like they couldn't say Russia, a player for Russia. It was like some bullshit phrase they had to make up for the players. But they still let the athletes go and compete. So it's like that is half-assing it, man, because they don't want to look. There's money in a lot of some of the best athletes are from Russia, man. Okay,
Yeah.
and you can't not have them there. So they half-ass it by saying we don't support Putin in the war, but we're still gonna have the Russian athletes and make money off them by having them compete. Like it is half-assed, man. Like I don't think it's fair to ban the players, period. But I mean, if you're gonna ban the country, you kind of should.
Yeah. So and see, and my little theory is, if he wasn't ranked number 3, let's say he was just a player that was unranked, they will probably ban all Russian players. I could see them banning all Russian players if it was no Russian players ranked. But for the simple fact he's the 3rd best player in the world, then that would have caused a lot of headlines for them to ban him like that. So it's just, I don't know. It's like me, if I'm saying, hey, this ice cream shop, hey, we're taking a stance against you. So we don't want your logos around here, but hey, you could bring your ice cream. You could bring your ice cream and we can eat the ice cream and all that stuff, but you can't promote your ice cream brand. You can't show your logo and all this other stuff. But
Bluebell is banned for their conservative beliefs, but we're going to have Bluebell ice cream for people, but you just can't. It's going to be in plain containers.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in a Bluebell container, but it's still Bluebell ice cream.
Yeah, nah, it's crazy.
It is, man, and it's silly, but you know they're doing what they have to do to fucking act like they give a shit. So whatever. Miguel on YouTube, we're talking about the NBA in-season tournament. He has an interesting idea. He says if you win, you automatically get a top 5 pick regardless of record. That would be hilarious, but that would make the players give even less of a shit. Because they don't care about a first round pick, man. That's the replacement that's getting drafted potentially. So they definitely wouldn't care. But we would be all in on that.
But see, I feel like that could not low key, but that could potentially stop the tanking. Maybe you won't blatantly tank. Maybe you actually do some stuff to try to win.
Well, okay, get to that point.
But then again, it's early December, man. So the season just getting started.
If you're good enough to win an in-season tournament, should you be good enough to get a top 5 pick regardless of your record? Because clearly you can put a winning team on the basketball court. Like the high pick in the draft is supposed to give a struggling team a boost.
Yeah.
That's why the NFL does it like they do, and that's why the NBA does it like they do, even though they have to change it because tanking got so bad. But still, the worst teams are supposed to be the first ones up to get a better player.
Yeah, but to his point though, like that wouldn't be a good thing because the good teams will get the top 5 pick every year, but it will make people want to play. Like
I don't think the players would care, man. I don't think the players care about a top 5. Doc, you remember the Cleveland Cavaliers? I know you've seen that video going around of the Cavaliers' reaction to
LeBron
getting the first pick and LeBron coming.
Yeah.
Most of them did not give a shit, man. And this is the dude that they knew was gonna be good, but they had to act like he wasn't gonna be all that great.
Yeah.
Because that's a replacement coming, man. And that's somebody that's going to take time and shots away from them. So players don't care about first round picks. It's us as fans and the organization does.
But see, but I feel like if the players on the court, they're gonna play. I don't think that was ever the issue.
Yeah.
I think the issue was teams like the Rockets who don't even try to sign anybody that will put a BS lineup out there that will put Kevin Porter Jr. at point guard, knowing he probably shouldn't even be playing point guard. I think that'd be the real issue is how they put the teams together because they really don't try because they know they ain't trying to win and they know Wemby is going to be the number 1 overall pick. So I think that's the real issue.
Yeah.
But like I said I think the tournament is too early to be sitting there already trying to tank or get a top 5 pick because the season starts in like late October. Like it's not even the Christmas. Like I feel like the season really start after Christmas or during Christmas when them games on. Like it's still early on. So I don't know. A lot could happen around that time. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be one thing if it was like maybe if the tournament was like in January or February or something like that.
Yeah.
Where, you could either start tanking from there or you could just, keep going. So it'd be one thing if you get a top 5 pick if you win that tournament around February. But December is still early. So that might be a little too early to determine if somebody get a top 5 pick.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be funny to see it happen like that, man. But I don't see that.
The Warriors mess around, get that top 5
right?
pick. or Phoenix.
Then they tank the rest of the season. So yeah, I don't know. That would be hilarious.
Just imagine Phoenix because they loaded now. But just imagine Phoenix get to win that tournament and to get the top 5 pick. And then they end up going and winning the championship. So they win the championship and they got to do the drawing. They got to do the lottery stuff. So they mess around, get number 2.
That'd be fucking hilarious, man.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we can't be rewarding that. We can't be rewarding the damn Warriors.
Yeah.
So I think that might about do it for the podcast, man. I think that covers about everything. Oh yeah, I don't think we mentioned it on the previous podcast, but RP to Ryan Mallett, man. I think we mentioned that. I meant to bring that up, but I forgot. He drowned a couple weeks ago in Florida. I don't know if any other information was ever released about that or how it happened, but it's fucked up, man. So RIP to that man. That shit was crazy. He's only 35 years old. So
yeah, man, that's scary, man.
It really is, man.
Yeah, being in that type of water too, because I think when like what was like I forgot the term they used. It wasn't a wave, but it was like a I don't know, I guess a draft or something came through.
Mm-hmm.
And you like the best swimmers in the world can't really get out of that. And so I think it was a couple people in that situation, and he was like one of them. So yeah, man, it's sad, man. I hate seeing people go out like that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, man. Really sad. It was random news to hear when it happened. So Yeah, RIP to that man. Condolences to his family and all that. It's sad shit to hear from last week, or the week before. So yeah, RIP.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps this episode up, man. I think that about covers everything. Appreciate everybody who came out for the podcast tonight on the commentary side, man. We have Miguel, HRW, Tab came through, made his glorious return to the comment section. Of course, who else was up in this bitch? Brown Chubby Bear saw you as well. Michael Garcia, shout out to you doing your thing. Yes, Ernesto at the beginning as well. Appreciate all y'all kicking it with us on this lovely Friday evening.
HR Dub
on Twitch as well, of course. Everybody who came through, we appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And y'all stay cool. And until next time,
peace.